It's being called a regressive step for privacy by critics. Apple plans to enable a feature that will scan iPhones, iPads and Mac computers for illegal content, sending the information on breaches to US law enforcement. Apple says it will provide valuable information to fight child abuse. However, privacy campaigners argue device scanning amounts to bulk surveillance, saying it's a slippery slope that'll lead to oppressive regimes around the world demanding the same technology to be able to spy on individuals. Well, let's get more on this from our reporter, Chelsea Delaney. Chelsea, what do we know about how this change is actually going to work?
So Apple is saying they're basically going to install the software on iPhone devices by the end of the year, and it's going to essentially give images, photos, and people's iPhone photos a sort of a fingerprint. So it'll basically come up with a system of numbers and letters that is identifiable to these photos. And before they upload these photos to the iCloud, they'll basically run a check against these digital fingerprints to see if they match up with anything that's been already reported as child sexual assault material. So if they see a certain number of matches, they say they'll report this to a national clearinghouse that now is vetting all of these sexual child material reports. And if they do find a certain number, those could be eventually passed on to law enforcement.
Scanning through people's phones, their iPads, their computers. It's not surprising that this has raised some privacy concerns.
Yes, it certainly has. And it's interesting because Apple has this reputation for really putting its customer, its user privacy first. So it's really spent a lot of time basically defending its ability to keep customer information private. But this is obviously a big concern. A lot of researchers have said, you know, if this data, if this information, if this technology gets into the wrong hands, it could certainly be used to seek out dissidents, to seek out people protesting against government. So that's definitely a major concern.
Apple seems to be moving first on this, but could this have a ripple effect for the rest of the tech industry?
Yeah, certainly. And there are a lot of companies that already are scanning for child sexual assault material. For example, Dropbox or Microsoft, they already do things like this. But there's a lot of companies that aren't doing that. Amazon, which has one of the biggest cloud storage businesses out there, doesn't scan at all for this type of material. So a lot of analysts, a lot of security researchers have said that this could certainly break the dam and lead to companies really having to take these concerns from law enforcement more seriously.
OK, Chelsea Delaney, thanks for staying on top of that for us.